Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think we need to stop using our finished jobs, those perfect photos, as the main visual, the main creative of the ad, right? I think that by doing that, you're really blending in with everybody else. I made another video on it earlier talking about the whole difference and how you should stop using them in general. And I think this really goes for ads because, like, I'll just break it down. I'm scrolling and I'm watching good, entertaining, educational videos, and then something pops up and it's just a finished job. And I'm like, okay, what am I looking for here? You know, like, what is this? What does this have to do with me, for one? For two, what is it even marketing? Like, have you ever thought about that? If your ad creative is just a freaking picture of a finished pool, for example, or a finished backyard, are you marketing pavers? Are you marketing the pool? Are you marketing pool remodel? Are you marketing new backyards? What about landscaping? What about turf? Like, what are you speaking to? How are you, like, what is it doing there? And that's probably the biggest thing. You want to lower confusion as much as possible when you're running ads, right? And sure, you can use a finished photo and you can write text, but how many people, like, think about you, for example, how often do you scroll through Facebook and see a picture of something and then read more if it doesn't create curiosity? And that's what a lot of you guys are doing, is you're posting your jobs and they're sexy and they look good. Like, those are amazing. You've got to lean into that. The problem here is that that's not what you want to use to attract customers. So number one, if you're posting finished projects and you're running them as your main ad, stop now. Show behind the scenes, show what you're doing, how you're doing it, show the steps, show the process, talk about those kinds of things. It's going to get you a lot more leads. Now, caveat before I get into number two, your creative can vary depending on the stage of the funnel that the people are in. And so let me just draw this out real quick just to make a little point here. So for example, if you've got a funnel that looks something like this, and these are people who don't know you exist, these are warmer, and these are money. Okay, so this is usually where they do a consultation or a visit, right? Design visit. This is where they have no idea you exist. They're just scrolling on Facebook or on Instagram. And this means that they're aware of you, okay? And you wanna move them along each stage. And so when you're running ads of, like, say, videos talking about things to get them to download a lead magnet or book an appointment or something like that, you're moving them from this totally unaware stage over here to aware, okay? Now, my hot take here is that these shouldn't be finished projects. I think if you just post a finished project, they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And it looks like everybody else. So they're aware of the project, but they're not aware of the company. What we want to do here is educate them on who you are, what you do, and how you do it. That way they're aware of the company. Everyone knows what the hell a pool is in a backyard. Everyone knows what those things look like. So promoting here isn't helping you stand out. So that's my hot take. Now, where this comes into play is that now this is a better tool to put into your marketing, okay? They're aware that you exist, and we get them to show that by getting them to download a lead magnet, fill out their information, use an estimate tool, something like that. Now they're aware of your company. Now we want to hit them with reviews, testimonials, and proof-based content, because they're already aware of you, and now we need to build more trust to move them into that next stage. Does that make sense? So totally cold audience, you don't need to build, like, you need to build trust with them, but that's not the first micro commitment. They don't know who you are. So first step before you can build trust with anybody is get them to know that you exist. So what you're doing here, hey, here we are, here's what we do, here's how we do it, like boom, 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 boom. Once they're aware, then you want to build trust, and then you want to take their money, pretty much. So I gotta unaware. Okay. Anyway, so that's the little rundown that I have to do, because people are like, oh my gosh, you got to use your finished projects in your marketing. Sure, there's a place for it, but it's not here. It's not the top of funnel. It's not to a cold audience. It's maybe down a little bit after you've done a consultation and they're still on the fence, after they've filled out their information. Okay, so big sidetrack. Number two is spend, okay? And I talk about this a lot, like every video about ads. This is one of the biggest things. And the reason it's one of the biggest things is because I think a lot of contractors are scared. They're scared to invest in ads because what if it doesn't work? And that's a good way to think about it. Ads can be scary and they don't always work. Like, that's the reality of it. But you've got to give Facebook enough data to play with, enough information to find your right customer. Because essentially when Facebook starts, it's going into this blind, all right? There are customers over here. I got to draw a lot so it makes a point. I need a blue. And out of all these people, let's say these are your customers, okay? And when you run an ad, and this is a video because videos are better. When you run an ad, Facebook is trying to figure out who to show this to. Which of these people is going to do the action that the ad wants? So if our action is a lead form, then Facebook's going to show this to people and try and figure out who engages with it and who actually fills out their information. Now, quick thing to know, Facebook has hundreds of millions of data points on people. So they know your buying activity, they know your habits, they know way too much. It's kind of scary. But the good news is that makes it a lot easier for them to connect your stuff with the people who are most likely to engage with it and use it, okay? And so for example, if Facebook shows this video to this person and nothing happens, it's still gonna try. There's usually like 2 or 3 touch points, 2 or 3 different interactions to see if they're gonna engage with it. If they don't engage with it, it's gonna essentially rule out people like this guy. Maybe this guy is married and he has 12 kids and he lives in the middle of nowhere in Alabama. He's not interested in a backyard, right? So he didn't engage with this ad. So now Facebook is going to show it to somebody else. And what do you know? This guy watched the whole video. 97% retention rate, amazing, right? He watched the whole video and first try, he filled out the lead form. Guess what? This guy, let's say, lives in a city in Alabama or something, and he has 1 dog and 2 kids, and he's married. And they just bought a home, right? Facebook knows all this information. It's crazy. So now instead of wasting time showing it to people like this guy who didn't even engage with it, Facebook has some warm information, right? Facebook can then show, oh, you know what? I think this guy would be interested. This guy might be interested. He's not. This guy is probably interested. This guy might be interested. And now your conversion rate goes way up because Facebook has gotten smarter at showing it to these people, showing it to the right people, okay? Keep up. I don't even know if I should fucking put this on YouTube. This is some high level shit. Okay, so here's the deal. If you're only spending $1 a day, Facebook can maybe show this to like 1 or 2 people. If you're spending $10 a day, maybe Facebook can show it to 20 people. If you're spending $50 a day, it can show it to maybe 100 people, right? Like these are all just examples. It depends on the ad creative, how engaging it is, how big your TA, how your total addressable market is. If you're spending 100 a day, it can show it to even more people. And the quicker, and this is the thing, this isn't about maximizing reach, it's about essentially learning as fast as possible. And so if Facebook can go through this whole target audience here and filter out how many of them sucked and how many of them engaged in one day, guess what's gonna happen tomorrow to this is your, not your ad set, but your pool of people who view this stuff. Guess what? They're all freaking blue. They're all good potential people because Facebook learned really fast this first day on $100 who engages with it and who doesn't. And then the next day it gets better, next day it gets better, next day it gets better. At $1 a day, it's gonna take you forever to figure this out and you're gonna get very low engagement. So if you figure it all out in the first day, the first week, month number 3 is gonna be pretty crazy optimized. And that's kind of the point here. So, moral of the story, this is way too in-depth, but without enough ad spend, Facebook can't figure out who to show your ads, I guess. I want to say videos, who to show your ads to quick enough. It takes a long time to learn, takes a long time to figure it out. And as a business owner, time is money, and running things as quickly as possible is super valuable. And so what you got to do, spend the freaking money on the ads, okay? Now, the third thing here is essentially a little bit more about the offer, okay? Third biggest mistake I see contractors making on their Facebook ads is they don't really have an offer. They will run an ad and they will say, hey, we're doing a special right now for turf. Let us know if you want us to come out and get you a quote. That sucks. That sucks so bad. Like that is terrible. You have, at least it has some kind of offer, but there's no call to action, there's no urgency, there's no scarcity, there's no curiosity, and there's nothing that makes me want to call them to find out more information. Like, that sucks. If I was interested, I probably already found the information. And so the moral of the story here, the thing that I hope you guys, at least if it's one thing you take away from the video, create curiosity and have a reason. So essentially, this is your homeowner sitting here, hanging out, and this is the action that you want them to do, okay? You want them to take this action, whatever it is. Now, your ad is essentially inspiring this action. Your ad shows up in front of them, like, here, look, here's a better example of it. These are all pieces of content that they're consuming, right? And it moves down this way. So this one they already consumed, this one they already consumed. Yours is next. Your ad slides in front of them, and the goal with that ad is to create curiosity so that they want this thing. Now, this thing shouldn't be a big ass expensive project. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be a $50,000 pool, because maybe they want that, but they need baby steps. So your ad needs to create curiosity and get them to take some kind of action. And it should be a micro action. It should be using a tool, right? Tool is good, like an estimate tool. We use a price guide. It could be download a PDF, right? This is a free thing. It could be a training. Okay, something like this to build trust with you. And this is a small thing. It doesn't really cost them money. It costs a little bit of their time. And then from this, you want to get them a little bit closer to that project, right? Problem is, that's still a big jump. And so that's why you do your design consultation, right? Right here, this bridges them into it. Hey, if the price looked good on this tool, don't forget, if the price looked good on this tool, let us come out, check out your yard. We'll see if that price is super accurate. We'll lock in an estimate, boom. Hey, I saw you downloaded this backyard guide for 2025. Did that inspire you to get something going with your backyard? Yes or no? Right? We want to move this action. And so I guess the best way that I could break it down and just honestly simplify it is, when you're creating ads, have them do something. Like, the ad should have them do something. But the actual creative of the ad should be getting them excited about doing that thing, helping them see the vision of what their life would be like if they had that thing, if they did it. A good example, like, we have a certain structure that we use with our clients when we film the ad, but a good example of this is, like, you call it out. Hey, are you tired of looking at a bare backyard? Most homeowners in Phoenix really dream of something to do with their backyard, but it's kind of confusing to figure out what it should cost, right? That's why Solution, we put together a free tool so that you can get an instant rough idea of how much your project would cost. Just go use that tool, put in a little bit of information. Warning, other contractors hate us because we're completely transparent with pricing, and you're gonna be surprised what you see on that tool. So just by doing it that way, it gets them kind of curious and gets them inspired to go take action. Like, oh shit, my backyard does kind of suck and I have been thinking about it. I just don't know, what it costs. I don't know what we can afford. I don't know any of this. So let's go use that tool, whatever. Hey guys, in 2026, the market is going down. People have less disposable income, but you still deserve a beautiful backyard. That's why we put together a 2026 buyer's guide or backyard guide to get the most value for your outdoor living space with your family. I know money's gonna be tight this next year as things are getting kind of weird, and we wanted to show you how you can still have a beautiful space as cheap as possible. Go ahead and click the button below, go download that guide or something like that. Like, there's just so many different ways you can do it to work them into it. So, moral of the story, follow those 3 steps on your ads. Like, just do a reality check if your ads have any of those three things, you're losing. You're holding yourself back, and I don't want to see that happen. If you want us to do an ad audit on you, just go reach out and we can do that. Otherwise, I put together a school community for outdoor living contractors where we have free training videos and we talk about things like how to make more money and how to get better clients and how to get more leads and all of that stuff. It's just for outdoor living contractors. So go join that. That's in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next video.